The Leafs with a very impressive win last night. Really impressive win. Got on the board quick. Troy Stetcher, who's been great for them. Depth scoring. I thought they controlled play. I thought they went in there with the right approach. They defended pretty well. That's a big win.
What did I say they needed to commit to as far as score-wise? A 3-2, 3-1 hockey game.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it was. They got the empty netter. And I said it on SportsCenter after the game. I think, it had to have been a victory for Craig Berube for him to have the ability to walk in the locker room and say, there's what a little intensity does. There's what a little attention to detail does. Obviously, it's not a game of perfect. You're going to have some breakdowns, and your goaltender's got to make some saves. But if you have some general smarts, intensity, and some kind of purpose out there, you can have some success. And I thought that's what they did. They all worked, and it looked like there was a purpose. And it wasn't just throw our sticks out there and see what can happen and don't care about what goes on in your own end. I love what they did last night. I love the game. Well, there's absolutely nothing to complain about as far as last night.
Do you know the one thing I got from it? There's lots of great storylines in that, but it's like there weren't just a bunch of shifts and said, okay, Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, go get us a goal. Yes, they factored in, but it was guys that were, you call them JAGs, right? There were jersey fillers in the past here, that guys that actually contributed. And that's something that you need on a night where Matthews doesn't score. You know what I mean? Or where Willie doesn't fight. That's where that was the difference for me, is you were saying other people's names other than just the usual suspects. That's what I got.
Yeah, they all kind of blended together, which is positive. The
Correct.
best. That's what Florida does every year during the playoffs. It's, obviously Barkov is a great player, but it rolls into Bennett. It rolls into, Lundell. It rolls. The same mentality and same approach kind of comes over the boards. And
other guys have different talent levels and they do different things just because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously the top guys are going to play more, and they need to break through. Of course, they do over the course of time. But I thought it was a big win. It was a win that I think we, again, stated appropriately was a big moment for them, considering what happened the last time they played Florida. And I get Florida's not in a great spot. They're missing a lot of guys, and I do think it's a legitimate question if they can get up off the mat. I'm not convinced they're going to, with everything that's going on down there. But that's not the Leafs' problem. The Leafs, they were missing guys, and they haven't played great this year, and they had to go in there and salvage 2 points. And now if you include the Montreal game, which was a part of the road trip, even though they came home in between, they're 3-2 on the road. They're 3-2 in a row. They had a very good chance in Washington, it's past them now. There's nothing you can do about it, but you're up 2-0 in the second period. Ideally, you found a way to win that game or at least get a point, but they didn't. But now you're going into Carolina tomorrow night. Very tough test. Very good team, as we know. But at a minimum, you're coming home 3-3 on the road. And you're getting some mojo back. And I think if you look at the forward lines in particular, a couple things stick out. Joseph Woll is really playing well. He's really dialed in. He was really good again last night. Agreed. The forward lines, as we said yesterday, they're healthy. This is what they're going to be. Would you like to flip one guy in or that guy out or something? Possibly. But they're healthy up front. And that lineup 1 through 12 is a playoff lineup. It's not perfect, but it's a very good one. It's a very good lineup. There's no reason, starting at Matthews all the way down to Steven Lorentz, that forward group should not give you confidence when you step on the ice. And if Joseph Woll is going to play the way he's playing, that gives you confidence. It's about cleaning up the defensive play. If they can clean up the defensive play, and you're going to have to do it for an extended period of time, it's not a one-off, it's not one trip. You've dug yourself a hole here. But you could wake up in a month and be maybe in the playoffs. Or real close.
That's the biggest question. Can that decor give you more than 2
You're asking
games
a lot out of them.
That's right.
You're asking a lot out of them. Philip Myers and Benoit and Stetcher's been great. It's not going to happen the rest of the year. He's not going to play like a number 3.
I tell you what, though, how do you not love the guy's kind of position on life, his situation, where he's just like, I've been on 7 teams, man. I got to let it fly every night. And if it doesn't, then I got to deal with it.
He battles. He's got energy, and you notice him out there. To his credit, he's been a really good waiver wire pickup. Really good.
I just appreciate the guy for the fact that he goes out there and he understands that his whole NHL life is on the line almost with every shift. And he kind of has that approach. Just the times I've heard him speak, I've just had an appreciation for what that guy has to say. I really do.
I agree. I've watched him a lot. Like, he's a journeyman guy he can skate and he can move the puck, and that's something that back end definitely needs. My whole worry, Brian, is more just the health of two right shot defensemen that don't seem on the horizon at all. Mm-hmm. And we talked Tanev and Carlo, and I don't know if you replace him with Stetcher and Myers, if that is the
not long
the formula.
Term.
That's
not,
what I'm saying.
Not
like
term.
I think you're starting to, and maybe it's a question for the insiders this week or next week. If there's a move to be made to add to that group, that's probably key to the difference between playoffs, not playoffs, helping the process. Again, like, if you get a healthy Anthony Stolarz back at some point, Joseph Wall can continue. Now all of a sudden you got a really nice tandem, which that's what was the plan. Mm-hmm. And then if we don't know what is the latest news on Carlo? He got sent home to get
Sounds like
another
surgery.
look at.
Yeah,
okay.
The Leafs. They're not going to reveal anything. But if he's had a setback, and I think Berube said, it's likely that there's going to be surgery involved. Now, surgery can mean a month. It can mean 4 months. We don't know what the surgery is on. Right. But that's a big stumbling block, and Tanev will not be rushed back, nor should he be, clearly.
Correct.
So that is not happening anytime soon. So it's patchwork. But there's patchwork happening all over the league.
I
everyone's
agree.
Suffering. Everyone, like Tampa's in trouble. Florida's in big trouble. Every team is dealing with it, and the Leafs have got to find a way to get out of it. And what that means is Ekman-Larsson and McCabe and Riley have got to elevate their game. They've got to be better than what was expected. And Ekman-Larsson's been, I think, really good this year. I think Riley and McCabe can give more, but I think they've been giving more recently, McCabe in particular, defensively. And I think that's what they're going to have to lean on. Like, those vets, those three guys are all going to have to play a ton of minutes. Man. Yeah, and they're going to have to set a tone, and they're going to have to play great.